Again, viewers, and welcome back to the Kotu Classic FPL podcast. Mr. Chama, nakam. It's been a while.
Well, it's been a while. It's been a hectic week again.
Mm-hmm.
Not a great one. The international break
Yeah,
did not go well for the
for
Gambia.
Gambia. Yeah.
So it has been a few emotional days for Gambia football fans. Missing out on the African Cup of Nations. This is the
Mm-hmm.
first time I think in the last three, of course, that Gambia will not be participating in. So that kind of that got the Gambian populace, I would say, a bit emotional. Some people get over the top, complaining, everything being said. Yeah, people started, calling for the former coach and stuff like that, which um it's normal. It's normal for some people to still be, in the in the shadows of the other coach, but people like us, we have moved on from that long
Mm-hmm.
time ago, and I'm
You
trying
have
to
to
look
if you
to
want
the future.
progress. Yeah,
If you want progress,
yeah.
exactly. So sometimes I question people: Are they really Gambian fans, or are they really there just to vindicate their thoughts about what Gambia have done or have not done? I think if you're a Gambian fan, you should just support the decisions that are made, and then support the people that are around to the best of their as best as you can, rather than trying to dwell too much on the past. Whatever the other coach is doing in other countries, or bringing it up just to like rub salt on people's faces or stuff like that. It doesn't make too much sense for me, for Gambian fans to be doing that. If you're a Gambian, So, but it was a busy that I know. We had a very good show on Sunday. Che spoke a lot about these things. But it's football at the end of the day. Gambia have not done enough, to be in the African Cup of Nations every single time. I believe. So we have to understand that as well as country, we are not to the levels of other countries that, for example, the team that we beat recently, Tunisia, they sacked their coach during the qualifiers because he was not doing well. They expect to be in the African Cup. That is the standard they set for their country. We are not yet that country in African football. But hopefully we will get there, and hopefully this will be a learning curve for the Gambia going forward. Anyways.
Yeah. So if you want any people, if you're watching, if you want any Gambian content, Gambia related content, please check out Jollof Football Bataba. I think this time I said it in the beginning before and at the end. But yeah, we've had 2 weeks of international break in FPL, so we are now back into it. I think we've had this might be the last FPL international break until what, January or so. So it's going to be a bit. It's going to be a bit hectic when it comes
Until March. Until March.
until
March
March.
will be the next
Wow.
international break.
So it's going to be two game weeks, two game weeks every week minimum. So yeah, brace
December is
yourselves.
usually busy. Yeah, December
Yeah,
is usually busy
this
in
is
English
when
football.
what do you call it again? Ranks are made. So,
Yeah.
anyways, let's jump into it. This today we have a kind of like a quick pod. We kind of excluded a few things because of in the interest of time. Recording is Wednesday here, 7 a.m. in the US. Timestamp. Japan for you.
Yeah, it's I think midnight already. 12, 13 past 12.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's a bit late. But yeah,
Yeah, I know.
let's do it quick and short.
Quickly, yeah, short and sweet. Um, I had just quickly, just to share my points. I had not even going to show it, just going to talk about it. 42 points in game week 11.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible, obviously. Um, Flecken 1 point, Guardiol 1 point, Gabriel 2, Aitnori 6, Semenyo 7, Momo with 5, Saka 2, my captain Johnson, who I took a punt on, decided to disgrace me. 2 points. Even Haaland had more points, who I should have captained initially, but 5. Jackson 2, Cunha with 12. So it was pretty terrible for me. Even though, regardless of the captain that I chose, unless I had captain Kuna, but still. So yeah. Now, how was your game week?
Terrible. My gaming was terrible. 39 points I got. I think this is the lowest. I was bragging last a week or so ago that I've
Mm-hmm.
not had one of those, terrible weeks so far this season.
Yeah.
It's not
of course, it's not those weeks where you're talking about the 20s and the 25 or 30 points, 39. But yeah, it was a week where I tried to make change in my team. I tried to improve my team. I tried to take advantage of an opportunity that arose, that was Tottenham.
Mm-hmm.
And then it backfired on me really, really badly. Solanke, this is the third time this season I am, putting him in and putting him out of my team. This is the third time I'm bringing him into my team, and then it has not really worked for me. I know last week he scored, and then the week before this he scored 16 points, I think, and
Mhm.
that kind of, and I think I sell him 2 weeks before that, and then I brought him in. So in that context, I was kind of chasing the points that he scored
Mhm.
the week before, but also I was trying to look at the fixture that they had. Tottenham had the best fixture, the worst defense in the league, that is Ipswich, and Tottenham have been the best attacking team. They have created the most chances in the league. So, like in FPL terms, the numbers back the Tottenham guys going into that week. You did not have any obvious captaincy pick to go with. So, and I had three transfers in my pocket. So I said, why not? I go for the Tottenham guys. And Hala was not doing well, and it was about time to get rid of him, even though he scored 5 points. But of course, 14 million, 5 points. I can take that all the time if I don't have Haaland, if he's gonna score just 5 points or stuff like that. Yeah, brought in Son and Solanke, captain Son, 4 points, and 2 points for Solanke. I get rid of Haaland. I got rid of another player. That was, I think it was Jota, because Jota has not been available
Mhm.
for us recently. Um, yeah, it was a terrible week for me. I have Salah, of course, and he was my captain going into the week before I make the decision to bring in a Tottenham player. So if I did not have any Tottenham player, obviously Salah was going to be the captain. And then in turn, you went with the Tottenham captaincy. Uh, but because I'm that type of person, if I want to do something in the game, and if I don't do it, and then it turns out to be good after that, I feel like I did not do the decision. I should have done this decision because I kind of had the feeling, and that's what I had this week. And I said, okay, this time I'm not gonna, I'm not. I want this decision. I want to do it, and then I did it, but it backfired. But then I immediately knew that if it does not work out that week, it's going to be a problem for my team, because the following week they are playing Manchester City. I know Manchester City are struggling right now. This is the best time to play them at the end of the day when they are struggling. But it's still Manchester City. At the end of the day, they are playing away to Manchester City. And after that, they have another difficult fixture to play. So everything I put in the Tottenham players was banking on them, battering
Doing well, yeah.
Ipswich, and that did not happen. So that's why I say it was a bad decision. Because I get to the point where I was feeling, you always, like, if you want to make a decision and you don't make it, you end up being like disappointed at yourself for not making that decision. That's I did not went to the critical point of thinking, how about if this does not work out, what happened next? And someday I want to make that second, have that second thought as well, not just have the thought of this is what I want to do this week, but what if it's not good? And that's what happened here. It was a terrible week for me, and now I don't know how to solve that problem.
Mhm.
That's the biggest thing now. I don't know how. Even though I have two transfers, I don't know how to solve that. Hopefully, you will help me when we get to the preview section to see how to solve my
Yeah.
problems now right now. Yeah, but it was not
I,
a good
I
week. 39
I
points.
have I also have an issue with my team, but I will we'll discuss that. For now, let's just go to fan corner. Um, fan corner. Like, there's a lot happening. That's why this is the
Yeah,
reason why I
it's
also
gonna be Man
swore my
United today.
decision.
It's gonna be Man
Yeah.
United. Everything is Man United today. Yeah, let's
No, no,
go.
no, no, no. There's also Liverpool too. It's a fan corner.
No,
So
just a bit of Liverpool. There's not much to say about Liverpool right now. All that, everything is going well. The players went to the international break. Players doing well again in the international break, which is normal. A lot of Liverpool players. I'm seeing a lot of Liverpool players captaining their countries, which also added
it's good.
added to another layer of the group of players we have. You have a group of leaders in your team, which
Leaders,
I
yeah.
love. Ibu Konate captain France, which is a big country. Ibrahim Konate, captain France. Robertson is the captain of Scotland. You go to Van Dijk, captain in his country. Obviously, he's the captain of that of his country. Andy Robertson doing the same thing for his country. Soboslai doing the same thing for his country. So we have a host of players who are leadership materials, and they were showing it for their country as well. Even Conor Bradley, our second choice right back, he sometimes captain his country, Northern Ireland. You see Kelleher doing very well for Republic of Ireland. They played against England. He considered a lot of goals in that one, 5 goals, but nonetheless, he had a very good game. I think in the first one, kept a clean sheet. Curtis Jones going to England, having an impact. So the international break was good for Liverpool. So that's all I can say. Every player is coming back healthy. Players like Salah did not go to the international break at all. So which is also a good thing. He needs the rest sometimes. He's getting to that age as a player. So that I can say about Liverpool. Let's go to Manchester United and then
I think we spoke about this briefly on the last episode. We have a new manager, Ruben Amorim. He's a young manager, like we all know, and probably, I think this is, like I said this before the last time, that this is the first time that Manu has hired like a new progressive manager, young also, compared to the others that they've hired before. And it seems like he was their target all along because of the signings that we made during the transfer window, like getting more defenders than we're supposed to. So now it all makes sense because he is coming with a 3-2, whatever the thing is, but basically using 3 defenders, 3-4-3, you can say, right? Variation. So the thing is, if you go on YouTube and you see all these Manu content creators, what they're doing, just guessing, Ruben Amorim's best team. This past 2 weeks, it's all been, his best team, who fits into his team.
Yeah, that happens, yeah.
The problem is we don't know. Because, number one, he came in when the players are off on international duty. That's the first time. That's the first thing. There's a 7-minute video showing the training, him being involved in training, like Pep. Pep, when he first came into Man City, playing with the players, telling them where to stand on all these things, giving them instructions in the pitch. He did the same thing, and obviously Man U fans are like excited. Oh, we never had this before. But I'm still cautiously optimistic because Man U is a big club, man, and it's like we've done this so many times now. I just feel like there's no need for me to be excited, even though there's a small bit of reason for me to be excited. But then I want to see it take shape, and then when I start seeing it happen, then I can say, okay, you know what? Now I'm excited because I see that, like, what he's doing or what we got him for, like, it's been implemented. And the first thing he said was he want us to have an identity, like a fixed system of playing, like a style of play, which we've never had in, like, I don't even know, maybe Van Gaal, possibly. The rest has been, whatever the case may be. But yeah. So now, in terms of FPL, I'm thinking like which players are going to fit or are going to be key in his system. Bruno Fernandes, I think, is one, regardless of whatever the case may be. He's the captain. So he's going to play. He's going to play advanced behind the striker. And that can be very enticing for FPL. Because we know he likes to be, in and around the penalty box and also getting those chances. Basically, like a 10 as well as like a striker, so like a cross in between. The rest of the players, to be honest, I have no idea who's going to play. I don't even know which striker is going to play with. There's rumors that Rashford might be converted into a striker. I don't know. So this game against Ipswich, yeah, if you can take the gamble, I think I would take the gamble on Bruno only. The rest, no idea. But then it will tell us a whole lot of how he's going to set up, who his preferred players are, and which position, and which ones are going to be instrumental to FPL, basically. So yeah, it's exciting, man. It's exciting. Whenever you have a new coach coming in, it's exciting.
Yeah. Obviously,
new system, new everything. It's like a reset, basically. But yeah.
Yeah. I remember when we were in similar situation where we don't have coaches for long, maybe in the early noughties or stuff like that. Benitez came, Roy Hodgson came. Every single time a new manager comes in, the excitement is always there as a fan because of the other coach obviously was not doing something right, and then another one is coming. So you have to have hope and you have to have belief as a fan. And I know bits of him because of, like I say, Liverpool in the summer after Alonso. He was the one that was being mentioned as as the one that Liverpool were gonna go for before we eventually got Anna Slot. Yeah, and yeah, I understand the point that you're saying that he was very much involved in the training, because nowadays these younger coaches, they are more of a head coach than a manager. I think United appointed him as a head coach instead of a manager, which is common to all teams. Liverpool, Arne Slot is a head coach.
Head coach, yeah.
He's very much involved in the coaching of the team. At Arsenal, Arteta started as a head coach. I think eventually he got more influence, and then maybe he might be a manager now. I don't know, but that's what he was. Pep likewise. But of course, Pep is a big man, so he is now manager. At Chelsea, you have Maresca similar. I think Alonso at Leverkusen, he's also similar. They are all involved in the coaching. The older ones, they don't have the energy to do it. So the younger ones they are always going to be the head coaches. And Amorim is a very good coach. He's a very good coach. It will be interesting to see what he brings to your team in terms of how he want to change the things immediately. Like you say, you guys have bought a lot of defenders in the summer. I think you brought in a couple of them. Yeah, but you said also mentioned about maybe that was the plan.
Possibly, yeah, because we got the defensive midfielder. What's his name again? The Uruguayan Ugarte. Like he's not a Ten Hag signing because the style of football he plays, and he was under Amorim basically before he went to PSG. So he was one of his key players. So yeah, all these things now start making more sense.
Yeah. I remember Ugarte, because Liverpool were also interested in him at that point when he was before he moved to PSG. Actually, when we were looking for replacement for Fabinho, he was one of the names that came across somebody. Yeah, and hopefully, maybe say your young defender too. I think Euro.
Then Euro, Masraoui, Delete. Yeah, he's back. He's back from injury. Yeah, he was. I think the players that didn't go for international duties, the ones that were recovering. Luke Shaw is back. He was seen in training. Malacia also is back in training. He's been back for a while now, but yeah. So it was good seeing all these players come back. At least we have more options now.
And apparently, Rashford enjoyed the first training session. I saw him posted something on Twitter or commenting.
I'm not moved. They're all the same. We want to see in the game. We don't care. We don't care.
It's interesting. Okay, let's see what Amorim bring.
Well, we'll see. So moving on to fixtures for game week 12. Let me just
put it in.
Yeah. Do you have it? Okay. All right. So Leicester, Chelsea, Arsenal, Nottingham Forest, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Brighton, Everton, Brentford, Fulham, Wolves, Man City, Spurs, and then you have Southampton, Liverpool, Ipswich, Man U, and then Newcastle, West Ham. Kind of a difficult game week, like past 2-3 game weeks.
Yeah.
I think the Chelsea Leicester one might be one that I think that looks good for Chelsea. Nottingham Forest are not a small team.
Nottingham Forest, they are difficult to beat. They are a very good counter-attacking team. They try to make things. Yeah, they have a good setup.
Very difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
they are the only team that can say we beat Liverpool this season. So
they have that going for them.
Yeah, they have that, and they are currently ahead of Arsenal in the table, right? So
I think they're third, right?
Yeah, they might. Chelsea might be third because I think they don't have what it's lost, but they are ahead of Arsenal. Fourth. Yeah, exactly.
So I think you guys play Southampton, which is the best. I think this is the best fixture. Like, even though it's away, but Southampton are like one of the poorest defenses in the league this season. So I mean that's why my transfers this week is going to be crucial, because I have 2 free transfers. I want to take Haaland out, but the problem is after Southampton, you guys you don't have a lot of fixtures, right? You don't have good fixtures basically. You have
Man City.
You have Man City, you have Newcastle. Everton away to apparently um, what's his name again? I heard that Everton. This is the last game they're going to play at their grounds. So and it's a 12:30 kickoff.
Uh-huh.
So it's not a good game. It's tricky.
It's not good.
You guys always beat them, but it's tricky.
Yeah, it is. It's just that derby, But I would fancy us,
Yeah,
especially how
yeah.
strong, how bad they are struggling right now. The Man City one will be difficult, but I think this is a good time also to play against Manchester City, especially at Anfield. So it's a good time to take advantage, and even if you can get a result against Southampton, and then whatever happened in the Man City Tottenham game, then if you win against Man City, you can extend that gap. I don't like to
Yeah.
think too far, but
One game at a time.
I would fancy us when we play them at Anfield. Definitely, I would. The same thing I would dread it when we play away at the Etihad, but at Anfield I will always fancy us to do something. But yeah, Liverpool Southampton, I think that is the fixture. But away fixture,
Yeah,
I can see Liverpool winning, but like I don't know if it would be a high scoring, despite even if it is Southampton, as Chelsea too. That is the same similar feeling I have. But Chelsea sometimes they have this in them more than Liverpool to batter teams this season. Like because what's his name? Palmer is kind of like they say, flat track bully, right?
Small teams.
He bullied the small teams. So
Yeah.
I can see more of a Chelsea big win than a Liverpool big win, even though we all have a good fixture. United to have a good fixture, but Ipswich, they are high after winning Tottenham away, so it may not be as easy
Yeah,
as
it might be a difficult fixture. Yeah.
And the coach too, is a more former Manchester
New
United.
coach, new
Yeah.
formation, possibly.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's not as easy as it looks. Basically.
Yeah, and the coach is a former Man United coach, right? The coach of Ipswich is
McKenna.
former Man United
Yeah.
assistant. McKenna, yeah, he was in the technical setup for
Yeah.
who was
He's
it
a
Mourinho?
good coach.
He's a
No,
good coach, yeah.
I think Van Erik Ten Hag.
Ten Hag,
I think so.
or not
Yeah,
Ten
I think
Hag?
so.
Okay,
I think so. Yeah. I'm not sure. Maybe
yeah,
I'm wrong, but I think.
yeah. This week too, there is no obvious fixtures, right?
None.
There is no obvious fixtures. There is no obvious
They're all
ones.
tough. Yeah. So let's go to what we came here for our teams. I'll start with mine. So you see, it's not looking good. I have like what three three flags. Semenyo,
Yeah,
Momo, and then
the
Saka.
flags are
Oh,
normal.
bro, it's crazy. So Flecken, Guardiol, Gabriel, Ait Nouri. Defense, I'm okay with, honestly. Semenyo, Mbomo, Rogers, Saka, and then Cunha, Jackson, and Haaland. And I have Johnson on the bench who plays Man City away. So that's fine. The problem now is, Haaland, I feel, needs to go. But this fixture is also a good fixture against Tottenham. And Haaland has had a good international break. So my ideal team would be keep Haaland in there, bring in Salah, and then probably either Saka or Palmer. But it's not easy to. You know how difficult it is to get those three in your team. You have to make some moves and cut budget here.
How do you bring Salah in your team?
I think I have enough money. If I downgrade Haaland to like Solanke, I can upgrade Mbomo to Salah.
What happened to Momo, by the way? Why is he flagged?
They said it's just precautionary. I think it was on international.
Or it's just the international break flag, because when the international break is coming.
I think it's the international break flag. I think so, because most of these players, most of them didn't go, or most of them were released early.
They call out. Yeah, they say they're not fit.
They're not feeling. But I think if you look at it, most of it, the fixtures that they're playing, they don't really need the results. Most of them. So most of them have already qualified. So what's the point in traveling all the way, go and playing?
Harry Kane was complaining about that. He said the England players. Yeah, he said they should be loyal. They should not do this.
But in a way, England England didn't need the fixture, right? And they also have a lot of players. It's also good to give other people chances to come and play. I mean, But yeah, I understand that you need to be consistent. If your country calls you answer that call, basically.
Yeah. You see, our boy Minte, he played for Gambia both games.
Yeah.
but Brighton didn't want to send him because he did not play
because he's
throughout. He was
he's been
injured.
injured. Yeah.
But he wanted to represent the country and I wanted to help in the qualification. Unfortunately, it did not work out, but he
Yeah.
was there. He was there, even though he was not as sharp as we would like to see him,
Mhm.
but he was there.
Yeah. So what changes do you think I should make? If it was up to me, another option is just to bank my transfers and get 3 next week and see how things go. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's my team.
Yeah, honestly, your team is missing Salah. That is very quite obvious, I think, in your team. But then, how do you get him this week? I think the past couple of weeks when we played the back-to-back home games, that was the time to force him into your
Yeah.
team. But
Now,
since
yeah.
that has gone, now
Mhm.
the next two games, Southampton, like I say, I can see Liverpool winning the game. It could be
Mhm.
a 1-0, a 2-1. But again, Salah can be involved in both goals if Liverpool win. That is how lethal he is in front of goal, or how impactful he is for Liverpool as well. Um, but just if you wanna pick him based on, okay, this weekend they are Southampton, I don't expect it to be a lot of points, a lot of goals. So I think you can do without him this week. This is a week
Mhm.
that you got, yeah. This is a week. I'm sure he will prove me wrong or something.
At least I
But
can blame you for the decision. So.
yeah, exactly. So this is a week that you can do without him.
Yeah.
Especially you have the captaincy option, and Haaland is never a bad captain option. Like
Mhm.
you say, he has a good international break. Tottenham, you never know what to expect from Tottenham. That is the
That
problem.
that's
They
that
can
that's the
they
thing.
can win a
That's the
good
thing.
game. They might even come and here and then
And
produce a
beat Man
very good
City.
game again
Yep.
and beat Man
Mhm.
City. But at
And
the
the
end of
next
the day, too, if
game,
you look, yeah,
yeah.
exactly. But if you look at their defense, I understand Van der Ven is injured. He has a hamstring injury. Romero, he has an issue himself. They have a lot of problems in their defense right now. So, and they are conceding a lot of goals. Haaland against, let's say, Davis and Dragosin or something, like that's gonna be good for Haaland. If I did not do that move earlier to last week from Haaland, then maybe probably I would have been happy to keep Haaland for this particular game week against
Mhm.
Tottenham. Because I think Tottenham are not good defensively, and Tottenham Man City play at home. So maybe I will delay that Haaland move until next week when they play away to Liverpool,
Yeah.
where I will and then Haaland usually do well against the big teams too as well. It's not just the small team, but for him he does well. He can do well against any team. That's why he's
Any
costing 15
against any team.
fi-
Any team.
against 15 million, right?
Yeah.
So the change I might be tempted if Muemo, Semenyo and Saka are all fit, which I expect them to be.
Mhm.
I think I don't see any need for a change in that mean. Semenyo play away at home to Brighton. It's a good fixture. Brighton, they concede goals, they concede chances. Memo play Everton. Like what I've already said, about Everton, they are not a good team at all. So to play them, I think is good. But the only thing you can say there is Momo is not an away fixture free. Like most of
Mhm.
his points, I would say 80 to 90% of his points come from home. He don't score a lot of away FPL points at all if you look at his numbers. So he's that player that when he's at home, you can bag on him, you can bank on him to give you a lot, but away you cannot. But again, he's playing Everton, so I will not bench him for playing. I will not bench him playing against Everton. Rogers is good pick, and then you have Saka against Nottingham Forest. So like you have a couple of captaincy options. Even Saka is a captain option.
Yeah, and
So if
not
he
yeah,
is fit,
at home, yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
So not much here to see to change. So and
I guess I'll just
in
keep
the
it. Yeah. Mhm.
in these weeks where you don't have that obvious move to another player, like we had last week with Tottenham, even though it
Mhm.
did not work out. If you don't have that team where you say, okay, this player is gonna hold me this week, I think those weeks you should bank a transfer. That's how I see it.
I agree. I think I'll just do just that. I just wanted to see your opinion on that, and since you share the same, I think I'll also use bank and transfer and have 3 next week, and try to
Mhm,
prepare for the next stretch of games. How
mhm.
is your team looking?
My team is oops, I went. Let me go forward. This is my team. I have not made any changes in my team. I have similar flags with you. I have Trent flagged, and for him, I
Oh
don't
yeah,
expect him
Trent.
to.
Yeah, he
I don't.
seems
Ex-
very
I,
dark,
uh, uh,
dark flag.
he's yeah, but he had a hamstring injury in the last Liverpool game. But fortunately, he feel it very early, and then he didn't take any
Mm.
risk, and they said the damage was limited, so it's not a bad hamstring injury. We expect to see him back after the international break, but I don't count on him against Southampton. So I have
Yeah, you don't
Foden.
need to risk him. Yeah, I don't need to risk him
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
don't.
exactly. And then we have Gunnar Bradley, which, to be honest, when the trend was going out, I was like, I was not worried at all. It's similar to the goalkeeping situation. At right back too,
Mm.
I know how much I rate Trent as a right back, but whenever he's out, I rate the kid who's coming out after him very, very highly as well. That is Conor Bradley. He's really good, so I'm not worried. Similar to Allison and Kelleher. Um, yeah, I have Foden, I have Memo like you, flag. Ramsdale, he's be on my bench, and Minte flagged, but Minte will be back because I'm sure he will not start because Brighton have been doing well without him, so they will start him off the bench. But I expect to see him back this weekend. Yeah. Uh, Me too. I'm stuck. For me, my initial plan was before that Son move, that before my hands were forced for the Tottenham boys to bring them in. My plan was to bank another transfer, and
Mm.
then this week was the time I was gonna make my moves. And this was a move I was gonna make for the future, like Saka. Even
Yeah,
though
Saka. Yeah.
he play against what's his name, Nottingham Forest, but Arsenal have a good run of fixtures coming.
Mm-hmm.
If you look right, and then
Arsenal, Chelsea. Yeah, yeah.
Chelsea have a good run of fixtures coming. So those two players were the ones I was waiting for this moment and then unleash them. And then I used those two transfers and then did the Son and Solanke move. I still have two transfers this week. I still have
Mm-hmm.
two. I can still bring them in, but it will be for Son and Foden to bring Saka and Palmer. But if I do this, that's why I say the Son move was very wrong from me last week. It was very short term
It's just a
thinking because
one
I
week.
know,
Yeah, very short.
yeah,
Yeah.
so if he didn't do anything in that week, it was gonna be a completely failure. So now I'm now I just to how can I say, just to try to soften that transfer. I'm tempted to keep him. Son, I'm tempted to keep him, even though I feel Saka and Palmer are better pick this week for him than him and going forward as well. But I'm tempted to pick him, keep him in my team. And then because he has a good record against Man City as well, because on the counter he usually causes a lot of problem
Yeah.
for Man City. Man City they're struggling for with counter attacking plays. So I'm just trying to have reasons to keep him in my team this week
I don't
because
think
I
you
would
can.
I don't want to sell him after 1 week after
No,
bringing him in.
I, I
Yeah,
I think the best thing you can do is to recognize the mistake and correct it. If you didn't have two free transfer, I was okay, maybe taking a hit to take him out after 1 week, yes. But if you have two transfers, the mistakes are there right now. Make the correction before it gets too late. Because Son has been struggling with injuries the whole season. Because
yeah.
obviously he's getting to that age where he's being managed properly and stuff like that. So it's not the same Son. Even though Man City are terrible, but at least at home they are not as bad. He might still score goals, obviously, but the only reason I would say, okay, maybe I have a bit of doubt is because Palmer and Saka are flagged and they're
Yeah, yeah,
coming back
yeah.
from slight niggles or whatever. That's the only reason. But
Mhm.
I'll say having three Tottenham assets in this fixture, yeah, I think you should probably try and see if you can keep one, at most one of them. The rest should probably go. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I can do that move. Those two, Foden and Son, out because Foden too. Since I brought him in, he has not
Yeah, he hasn't done.
really,
Yeah,
he
that's
hasn't
true.
done anything. And this was the period I was gonna get rid of him when they start to play Tottenham,
Oh,
Liverpool, that difficult fixture. That was the time. He was the make weight for the Sakas and the Palmers. So
yeah, I think, yeah.
I can do it. I can do it. I have the money to do it, to do Foden and Son out, Palmer and Saka straight in, and then I have my transfer. And then I can start building the team I wanted to build from
Yep.
this time and
Yeah,
go.
there's no point waiting or hoping that, oh, my one. I've been in a situation before where I just bring in one player and I think, oh, before he leaves my team, he needs to give me points. He owes me points.
Yeah.
that's
So
the problem. Yeah.
you see, even the captaincy, this means I did not touch my team, right? Even the captaincy is still
Still on
on
Son.
Son.
Yeah.
You know, because, like, of course, I'm not gonna captain him. That's not gonna happen. But then, yeah, transfers have not really worked for me this season. I think transfers have not really come good for me because when I do transfers, you want your transfers to have impact, right?
Yeah.
But
Immediately.
other than maybe you will say Welbeck. I can say Welbeck. Welbeck is the only transfer this season that I did that kind of improve my team. Other than that, Mbeumo, I got him from the start. You know, maybe you can say Salah as well.
Salah.
When I
I
brought,
think Salah too,
but,
yeah.
but Salah, when I brought him in, don't forget he also, you know, did not give me anything in the first few
For
weeks.
a few weeks.
And then after that he started giving me. So Welbeck is the only obvious one that I would say since I brought him in, he has had impact in my team. But other than that, all the other moves I made have not really changed my team a lot. So this needs to change because it's very important in FPL when you make moves, they have an impact in your team. You know, like that's why we play the game. At the end of the day, yeah. So you think I should do the double move, right? And then
do
just
it, do
done
it
with
now.
it.
Don't wait. Or
No,
else
no, I have to wait. I have to wait for the
don't
flags.
regret.
I have to listen to the press
that's the
conference
thing.
first.
That's
Yeah.
the only. That's
No, I'm not gonna rage it now. I'm not gonna rage. I'm not gonna do the rage.
Don't be like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess this was a quick one. We've discussed
Yeah.
our transfers, which is just important after international break, you know, because I was thinking, I was so confused this week, and then, man, what am I going to do with my team? You know, but yeah, I think for you made a mistake. Try and correct it, but before you do that, just make sure that you know all the flags have been lifted. Listen for team news. You know, we have some time to listen to team news and see you know what the updates are on those flagged players. I think for me, I just keep it as is and hope that those flag players come back and play, and then keep my 2 free transfers. I have 3 next week, and the fixture is changing for most of these teams anyway, so it's a good time to bring those new premiums in. So
Yeah.
it's all good. So we've come to the end of the pod, viewers. Thank you very much for always supporting, liking the Kotu Classic podcast. Please check out the Jollof Bantaba. You know, it's not easy right now because Gambia didn't qualify for AFCON. We would have loved to because we always like to showcase Gambian football, you know, have the boys get their exposure. But yeah, it wasn't meant to be. But I hope we will learn from this. You know, it's just a setback. You know, we will come back stronger, definitely.
No, it's really a difficult. It's really a difficult year for us because I think we missed out on under 17, missed out on under 20, and now we missed out on the senior team. So all miss out on African qualifiers. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's what we do.
It's a
What
learning experience. Yeah.
Yeah, and the authorities back home, they should you know,
They should do better.
I think they failed us. We have a lot of talents, but the way we want to run the football is not the way it should be done, I think. Yeah, but anyways, it was a great one. It was a great short pod. So hopefully we have a green arrow next week.
Yeah, we desperately need it.
Yeah.
All right. We'll catch you guys on the next one, guys.
Goodbye, guys.